Hi, my name is Samuel Shebekov. I am a queer transgender man and I use he/him pronouns. I immigrated here from Kazakhstan in 2008 and I've been living here in Toronto for a few years now. Mental wellness to me is an important subject. I have had to discover myself a lot throughout these years. When I came to the conclusion that I was a transgender man, it was kind of a pivotal point in my life because of the fact that I had finally started to get on the right journey to bettering my life and bettering my mental health life. I grew up in a very conservative family who didn't think that talking about mental health was important. Because of that, I had developed some unhealthy coping strategies where I would push everybody away. I didn't want to talk about my mental health and I just internalized all of it. Because of that, even today, I struggle with talking about this kind of stuff because of just what I've learned. And it's been a lot of work trying to overcome that. So because I have CPTSD as well as anxiety, I experience a lot of breakdowns and panic attacks in my daily life. Sometimes it could be over something small like losing my headphones or, I spilled something and it got all over the place. And a lot of times when this happens, I will start to get very irritated. I'll tense up, my breathing becomes quicker and I get really fidgety. It is hard to deal with that, especially because of the fact that I wasn't taught as a kid the coping strategies and the right ways of dealing with this healthy. Not only do I have to deal with these panic attacks, I have to deal with figuring out a way that's good for me to deal with it and overcome it, essentially. So for example, at work, I spilled an entire case of very expensive fish. I started freaking out, worried about how my manager would feel and how, the store management would feel when they saw me spill all of this expensive fish. My breathing quickened, I tensed up, and to deal with it, I went into the back room, into the cooler where it's quiet. I took some nice deep breaths, I did a body check, and thought to myself, okay, where am I the most tense? And then tried to relax those areas. Took a time out, thought about it, thought, maybe this isn't as bad as it is. The store loses money on this kind of stuff all the time. This isn't that big of a deal. And I tried to move on with my day. In my journey in figuring out what works best for me, I had to try all kinds of coping strategies. Nowadays, what I do is I will take a short walk in the park and try to change my surroundings. I'll sit down, play maybe an hour of a video game that I really enjoy. And at the end of the day, especially if I had a rough day, I'll try to reward myself with a healthy snack, usually frozen fruit. There's all kinds of strategies you could use, like try painting, taking a walk, or try to draw what you feel. It doesn't matter if it doesn't look good or it doesn't make sense. What matters is getting it out. If you're a little older, let's say you're, a preteen, teenager, one thing I found that helped me a lot when I was that age was, trying to reach out to somebody. And while that may be very hard and scary, but it's very, very effective. There's been plenty of studies shown that talking about your problems really does help. However, if you're, around my age, I'm 22 years old, generally speaking, journaling is also a great alternative. If you don't have anybody to talk to or, you don't trust anybody, journaling it and trying to reach out to a professional is the best course of action. Now, obviously, some of these tactics and strategies might not work for you, and that's okay. Everybody's different, and everybody's mental health journey is different as well. However, I really do stress the importance of talking to people. I spent a good portion of my life not talking to people, and because of that, I have a hard time opening up and, being vulnerable with the people around me. It is genuinely hard to find people that you could talk to sometimes, but really there are people out there that do care about you and want the best for you. And you may not see it right now, but sometime soon you start to understand that, hey, maybe my friends do care about me and they do want to hear about what I want to talk about. If you don't have anybody in your life that you can talk to about, try to find a support group. Going into sports really helped me because I not only had an activity I could look forward to every single day, but I also had my teammates that I could turn to and talk to about my problems. While obviously I didn't click with all of them, I found some really close friends through that way and expanded my social group. One thing I also want to say, if you are LGBT plus, follow your identity. Don't let other people tell you who you are or who you are not. I had plenty of people in my life tell me that I'm not a man and that I'm wrong about my identity, but here I am. All of these might not work for you, but I really do hope some of them do. And I wish you guys the best.